Good afternoon. Today is Thursday, March 26th, and I want to share with you today some things that I think that the Lord is teaching me. Hopefully this is simple, this is easy, straightforward, and maybe what God is teaching me, He might be encouraging you with. I'll say that as I came into this COVID crisis, when we started hearing in the news that there was going to be orders on the size of gatherings and how that would affect me pastorally in my preaching and how that would affect our church gatherings and Bible studies and groups, I quickly went into gear to say, okay, how do we connect people? How do we keep people connected? How do we pastor in the midst of this? And all of those questions can be very good questions. I also ran into wanting to connect with people on social media. My phone told me then, even on Sunday, that I spent more time on my phone last week than I did the week before. And I'm sure I spent a lot more time on social media because I want to stay connected. But I think in the midst of this, I was not considering that God was truly seeking to remove certain noise from my life, if I can word it that way. That God is forcing us all into a certain position. And I know I talked about this in some of my devotionals last week, but I think it's being pressed a little bit more in my heart. That God is taking these circumstances and He's removing noise and He's saying, don't try to add to it. And yet, I have been doing that. And so, for example, yesterday morning, I was having trouble sleeping. I woke up early, and so I got my phone out and I just scrolled Facebook. And I scrolled Facebook for an hour, and I think I remembered one thing. That was convicting to me. And so this morning, I woke up, I checked my phone briefly, and I went straight to my Bible study. I still remember what I read in my Bible study. But my point in saying that is, even I was convicted in thinking about that and remembering the definition of a busybody. A busybody is someone who does a lot of stuff, but they're not accomplishing anything. And that's what Facebook has kind of become for me. Even within this last week. And I wouldn't say I'm being a busybody and trying to connect people with different things, but I think the two things is that God is teaching me is busybody, and then also not being still and knowing that He is God. Maybe in some ways not taking His providence and being silent and resting. And so, whereas God has said, I'm removing this noise, I'm saying, no, let's keep the noise. Now, by the way, in no means am I saying it's inappropriate for me to do this video or to connect with people on Facebook or whatnot. But instead, what I'm trying to say is, I think God is calling me to ask the question, what are essentials? In our society around us, people are asking or commenting on what the essential businesses are. Okay, well, what are the essentials in my life? Is Facebook an essential? What's an essential? Do I have to do this thing, or should I be doing this other thing instead? In the midst of this time where God is potentially, for some of us, removing some noise, we should use this time to rest in the Lord, to evaluate the essentials, to ask Him, what is essential, Lord? And how should I be living today in preparation for when the noise comes back? Because when the noise comes back, maybe we can say, you know what? I can't do that anymore. Or I'm not going to do this. Or I'm going to do this instead. This is a time not only for businesses to say, what's an essential business? This is a time for us to ask, what's essential in my life? So hopefully that's an encouragement to you, an exhortation to you, and you can be strengthened in that as well. But thank you for watching. And by the way, I am not going to be on making any videos tomorrow or Saturday. We will have the live stream service on Sunday. I will be back doing these shortened videos next week starting Monday. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a blessed day and weekend.